Hi, my name's Craig Denny. I'm a hypnotherapist in Charlestown, New South Wales. I wanted to make a video on two things today. I wanted to make the video on hypnosis and also on self-hypnosis. So, because there's a lot of misconceptions about hypnosis, and hypnosis simply is getting into a relaxed state where your conscious mind, and your conscious mind is the one that just goes around and around in circles. Oftentimes, people have negative self-talk or just repetitive behavior and thoughts over and over and over again. And they just find it hard to break out of that old pattern. And the subconscious mind is that deeper part of your mind where a lot of the habits are carried out for you. For example, a smoker will just go and smoke each and every day and not really think too much about it. That's just what they do, because at some point in time they've started smoking and then they've handed it over to the subconscious mind and said, you take care of that now and you can create that behavior for me so that you can do it each and every day. And it does a wonderful job just running along, fully automated. Sometimes we need to make those changes. We need to talk to that deeper part of the mind and make those changes so that you can break those old patterns and behaviors. So that conscious mind can easily get bored and just wander away. And that's when you can drift into that state of hypnosis. A lot of people have heard the term highway hypnosis, which is where someone's driving along for a long period, maybe along a boring road somewhere, and you just sort of vague out for a little while and you can't even remember the last 10 minutes of the drive. And of course, if something happened and you were required to come back to full alertness, your subconscious mind would bring you back really fast so that you could react if you needed to. And another example is when you're watching a movie or a show and you're just sitting there and you really lose track of what's going on, and you know, you may ask someone that's with you what happened. That's because, again, you're in a state of hypnosis. And that's why advertisers put a lot of ads on during movies, because they know that people, when they watch a movie or a show, they're in a state of hypnosis already, so they are more suggestible. So they utilize that to try to sell them products or services. So when you're in hypnosis, and I love hypnosis because we can make so many changes in quite a short period of time. I normally tell people to start with 3 sessions, and oftentimes 3 sessions is enough to make some wonderful changes for people. Anxiety, chronic pain, I do all of those things, and they're only normally around 3 sessions. Sometimes it's more, depending on what's happened in your past and what's going on. So you come in and we get you into that relaxed, natural state of hypnosis, and then that subconscious mind comes forward where it's more suggestible, and we allow you to make some changes and we put in those more beneficial suggestions for you. We can break those old patterns of reacting. Maybe there's some person at work that you react to quite easily. They just manage to push your buttons, as some people say. Once you've had the hypnosis and we've made those changes, you find that that person just bothers you less and less. As time goes by, it's just noise basically in the background, and they just don't affect you the way that they used to, because we can allow you to get rid of that old anxiety or remove that old anger or whatever may be lingering underneath the surface. And as we make those changes, you start on that new path and that new direction. And so when you're in hypnosis, you're simply relaxed in a comfortable place. I do most of my hypnosis via Zoom. It's just sometimes even more comfortable for you to be in the comfort of your own home. And so we get you into that nice relaxed state. Oftentimes you can start off by doing a progressive muscle relaxation, it's called, where you can relax all the muscles from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. And as you relax yourself more and more and you close your eyes, you go inside, and you can go inside and it assists to make those wonderful changes. So when you're in hypnosis, you're fully aware of everything in the room and outside the room, any noises that you hear, but they just don't really bother you that much. Of course, if something happened and you needed to react, it's the same as I said with highway hypnosis. You'd be brought back to full alertness and you would react if you needed to react if something happened around you. So as you're in that state and we make those changes for you though, we ask that subconscious mind to help you change those behaviors, because at some point it's put you into, for example, with anxiety, it's put you into a state of fight or flight. And when it's done that, it's worked, it's helped you in some way. So then it starts doing it over and over again, thinking that it's helping you. So we work with that part, we change that old pattern so that we know that fight or flight is only used then when it's really required. Of course, if there was a fire and you had to run out of the house, that's when you want that to kick in. So when we make the changes with hypnosis, sometimes it's good to follow that up at home. I have a lot of meditations on my YouTube channel, and people can listen to them, and they're very similar to the hypnosis sessions that I run. I often get you to relax the body and relax the mind, and then we go and make those changes that you've requested. Or in the case of the meditations, I have meditations for all different things like anxiety or anger or stress or insomnia. So when you're in that relaxed state, those changes can happen quite quickly. And so, as I said, after the session, it's sometimes good to be able to do self-hypnosis. And self-hypnosis is the same thing. And what you can do is you can record a hypnosis session for yourself. And most phones nowadays have a voice recorder in them. So you could take yourself through a nice progressive muscle relaxation, which I can show you in a minute. And when you do that, you get yourself into a nice relaxed state, which you're recording onto the voice recorder so that you can listen to it later and actually go through the process for yourself. So you can relax your body and mind and get into a nice, comfortable place. And then you can record the changes that you would like to make, or the beneficial changes that you would like to make. And so, for example, if someone was sick and they wanted to begin to heal, you would put in those suggestions into that recording. You would talk about feeling healthy and strong and powerful, and you could put suggestions like that in there. You wouldn't want to say something like, I don't want to be sick anymore, because sometimes the subconscious mind gets a little bit confused. It's not sure when you talk about sick, whether you want to be sick or you want to be better. Sometimes that confusion can make it a little bit more difficult. So we want to put in all positive, beneficial suggestions. I want to be strong. I want to be healthy. I want to feel wonderful. And then you can record all of that onto that voice recorded session that you're going to make. And then you can play it back whenever you wish, and you can find that it will help you to create that momentum, help you to continue those changes. So I will give you just a little sample of what it feels like to be in hypnosis, if it's appropriate for you now, if you're in a safe place where you're not driving or anything like that, obviously. And you can close your eyes, and I'd just like you to close your eyes just for a few moments. And as soon as you begin to close your eyes, you begin to just go inside. You begin to let that outside world drift away just for a little while. And as you do that, I'd like you just to imagine that your eyes are closed so comfortably and they are so relaxed that they simply don't work just for a little while. And then I'd like you to imagine relaxing the muscles around your jaw. And as you relax your jaw muscles more and more, you can feel that comfort, that relaxed sensation beginning to drift through your body. And then you could relax your shoulders, let any tension go from that region. And then you could slowly send that relaxation through the top of your arms towards your elbows. And then you could send it through those elbows into those forearms towards the wrists. And then slowly out through your hands. And then you could imagine relaxing your chest muscles a little bit more. Slowly down into your stomach. And then the muscles in the top of your back and your lower back. And then drifting down through your hips and the top of your legs, down down through your knees and your lower legs and your ankles and feet. You just imagine every muscle sinking more comfortably and deeply into the chair or wherever you're sitting. And as you begin to do that, you begin to just drift into that state which can enable you to begin to heal or make wonderful positive changes. And then sometimes it is beneficial to go on a little journey. So you could imagine walking down a pathway through a forest or a valley or some wonderful place. You can imagine feeling the sun on your skin. And as you walk further and further down, you could imagine sitting on the edge of a riverbank. And I wonder if your mind could create a sensation of feeling some water just drifting along your lower legs and ankles and feet as you dangle them in that river. And you can imagine that water beginning to wash away something that you no longer need here today. You could imagine feeling a sense of relief and release as you let something go. And as that happens, you could imagine feeling a shift. Or maybe it's just a small break, little rest from the day-to-day activities. And as you allow that to happen, then when you're ready, you can just simply open your eyes and come back in the room. And that can just give you some sort of an idea of what hypnosis can feel like. And of course, we could make some changes then when you're in that relaxed, suggestible state. So I hope this has given you just a little idea of the sort of things that we could do. I hope you've found some benefit from that tiny little snippet of hypnosis today. So I thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.